Have you been paying attention to the higher time frame on the pound yen? If not, I need to show you why you need to really focus on the higher time frame and what it can mean for the future of trading the pound yen. What is going on, everyone? I am back for another midweek chart breakdown video. Today I'm going to be doing the same as always, where I do a breakdown of the new levels that have been hit or created on the pound yen and show you the scenarios you need to look out for the rest of the trading week. I'm also going to quickly go over the news towards the end of the video. That's going to be a shorter segment. I'm going to try and keep this video a little bit shorter today than my past couple have been. So before we watch this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. Let's get into it. So I said that you need to pay attention to the higher time frame on the pound yen. The major reason is the level at 183.70, which you can see here on the yellow line. This is a level that I've had up for a long time now. You can go back on all my videos. I haven't moved this level. This is something that has been touched a couple times here, but the reason it's important is because of the highs to the left over here. So what happened today was it went up and tested this level, which is where we also saw a major reaction to the downside from this same level. But it's important because of the highs on the left over here. We see multiple rejections on the left, and it keeps happening again. It keeps rejecting away on the higher time frame from this level. One thing I do want to point out, on a higher time frame, we could be seeing a head and shoulders pattern. So I don't really like trading off of patterns like this, but it is something to always watch for and acknowledge. So we have the leg in and the shoulder, the push down, and then this would be the head above the shoulders. It pushes down and it comes back up and rejects out of the same area before we would see a big down move. Just something to look out for. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, especially since the higher time frame on this pound yen is still up. If we zoom out on this chart, you can see we're still in an uptrend. Right now we're in a little bit more of a consolidation than we had during this trending period, but we're still in an uptrend. One thing I do want to point out here on the higher time frame is the higher lows here, here, and here. So the thing that would make me shift my bias on the higher time frame or begin to shift into maybe more of shorts is if we can see these lows consistently broken. Can we establish a new low here, pull back, new low below here, pull back, new low below here, and then continuation down? I'm not sure if this is going to happen, but it's always something to watch out for with those formations. Let's get down, or before we get down on the lower time frame, another thing I want to point out is, could we see a range beginning to establish in this sort of area? So before, what I was pointing out was the range here. We had a range for multiple days in here, and I told you in last video that we could expect to see a bigger move moving outside of this range. And what happened? It had a bigger move, pushed up, big candle, broke the top of the range, just went up to the next daily level and got a big rejection back down again. So what could we see? We could see a range like this establish, where price just bounces back and forth on the higher time frame between these two levels. What we could also see is a range established like this, a little bit larger of a range, a bigger one on the higher time frame. You see price bounce back and forth just like it did in this area here. So price just bouncing between the highs and lows. It's not a perfect range, but it's just an example. Let's go down onto the 1 hour time frame. So as you can see, price rejected right out of the highs, right out of that yellow line that I've had marked out for quite a while. I just want to point out quickly some trades that you could have had today. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the desk to trade today, so I missed out on some of these bigger moves. A little bit unfortunate. But yesterday we saw price move up, pull back, and continue up until at least the 50 area, which was the level I called out in my last video. And you could have taken it all the way up into 70 if you held long enough. That's a much more difficult hold, but was a possibility. And this 183 area was acting as a good support zone. You could have taken a limit order trade. We did have a trader on the floor take a limit order trade from 183, and they got a massive profit all the way up here and got out of the trade. So that was a good area to watch out for. And as it broke below 183, it just crashed. Now, what are some of the scenarios I'm going to be waiting for the rest of this week? So what I like to do is I like to look to the left once we break major support or resistance areas. So what can we see here on the left? The last time we were able to break down strongly below this 183 area and even below this 182.70 area, what happened? Price pulled back into the zone and then continued short. So that will be one of my scenarios that I'm looking out for. So can we see something like this? Strong down move, maybe some base-in consolidation, pull back up into somewhere in between 182.70 and 183, and then see another short reaction back down into maybe 182 again. I would be cautious of this 182 level, holding price, creating some sort of consolidation. One thing I do want to point out is look at this move long. This was Monday's move long, or most of Monday's move long, and then we had today, Tuesday's move short. So these two moves happened with very little consolidation and ranging. So what does that mean? I would expect some ranging to happen in the market soon. So let's go back to the left. Over here on the left, you can see big move short. The next day was a little bit choppy, and then you had another big move short. I wouldn't expect it to just do small pullback and continue short. Could that happen? Yes, it could always happen. But we base things on probability in trading, so I would expect to have some choppiness before we get either a pullback and continuation, a reversal of the trend, or just a straight continuation without the pullback. So let's go a little bit deeper on my scenarios or my major levels. So my two major levels are still going to be the same because we've re-entered that same range we were in on the weekend. So I would be watching this as a major area and also the bottom of the range down here as a major area. So I'd be looking for longs from the low down here from 30 or 181. And I would be waiting for pullbacks from up here at 182.70 to 183 to go short. Anywhere in between, it's based on how the morning sets up, how the London session and Frankfurt session play out, and just lower time frame type trades. But I'm really waiting on these higher time frame levels to kick in to give me my trade. So those are the main scenarios, main levels. Let's quickly look at the news for the rest of the week. So the main two news events that we're looking out for the rest of this week are going to be the CAD rate statement, which is Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And also on Thursday, we have the Euro rate statement as well, 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. These are going to be the main drivers of the market for the rest of the week, even though they don't relate to the pound yen. Like they don't relate to them exactly because it's not the pound or the yen. It's still a currency market where they all affect each other. So we could see these moves still affect the pound yen. So watch them very closely. Make sure you don't forget when these news events are so you're not in a trade and you get messed up or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to be watching out for. So good luck trading for the rest of this week. Stay tuned for my video on the weekend for the setups for next weekend. Please don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. And good luck trading.